The Ford Mustang, an American icon, a symbol of freedom, and the original pony car. For decades, it's captured our hearts with its roaring engines and muscular looks. But there's one chapter in its history that divides enthusiasts like no other. The Mustang II. Some call it the worst Mustang ever made. Others claim it's the car that saved the entire brand from extinction. So, what's the real story? Was the Mustang II a disaster, or was it the unsung hero of the Mustang legacy? Today, we're diving deep to uncover the truth behind the most controversial Mustang of all time. To understand the Mustang II, you have to transport yourself back to the early 1970s. The world was a very different place. The glorious muscle car era, with its big block V8 South and tire-shredding power, was coming to a screeching halt. Why? A perfect storm of problems was brewing. First, new government regulations hit the auto industry hard. The public's love affair with thirsty, gas-guzzling muscle cars was over. People wanted smaller, more fuel-efficient cars. Ford saw the writing on the wall. The original Mustang, which had started as a compact, sporty car, had grown bigger, heavier, and thirstier with each passing year. The 1973 model was a behemoth compared to the original 1964 version. It needed to go back to its roots, but adapted for a new era. This decision immediately set the tone for the Mustang II. It was going to be small. Very small. Lee Iacocca, the father of the original Mustang, who was now Ford's president, championed this new direction. He envisioned a little jewel of a car, something that was luxurious, efficient, and sporty, but in a completely different way than its predecessors. The goal wasn't raw power. It was about creating a car that felt premium and was sensible for the new economic reality. When the Mustang II debuted for the 1974 model year, it was a shock to the system. It was nearly 500 pounds lighter and a whopping 19 inches shorter than the 1973 model. The styling was a mix of classic Mustang cues, like the long hood and short deck, but with a distinctly European flavor. Inside, the focus was on comfort and features that were considered upscale for a small car at the time. But the real controversy was under the hood. For the first time in its history, the Mustang was not available with a V8 engine. The base engine was a measly 2.3-litre four-cylinder, making just 88 horsepower. To put that in perspective, a modern family minivan has more than double that power. They felt the soul of the Mustang had been ripped out. Despite the moans from the purists, the public's reaction was completely different. Remember, the country was in the middle of an energy crisis. People weren't looking for a drag racer. They were looking for a stylish car that wouldn't drain their wallet at the pump. And the Mustang II delivered exactly that. It was the right car at the right time. Sales went through the roof. In its first year, 1974, Ford sold over 385,000 Mustang Is. That was more than double the sales of the much larger 1973 model and one of the best sales years in Mustang history. It was a massive commercial success. It even won Motor Trend's Car of the Year award for 1974. The magazine praised it for returning to the size of the original 1965 model and for its timely concept. The public had voted with their wallets, and they loved the new, smaller Mustang. Ford, however, heard the cries of the performance fans. They knew they needed to inject some of that classic Mustang swagger back into the lineup. In 1975, they made a crucial move. They brought back the V8. It was a 302 cubic inch or 5.0-litre V8, but due to the strict emissions regulations of the time, it was severely detuned, producing a laughable 140 horsepower. It was a V8 in name, but not so much in spirit. Still, it was a step in the right direction. Then, in 1976, Ford introduced the Cobra II package. This was mostly an appearance package, but what an appearance it was. It was famously driven by Farrah Fawcett's character in the TV show Charlie's Angels, which cemented its place in pop culture. The Cobra II looked fast, even if it wasn't. It was all show and not much go, but it gave the Mustang to the visual attitude it desperately needed. Ford didn't stop there. As the 70s drew to a close, they went all out with the ultimate version of the Mustang II, the 1978 King Cobra. This car was the pinnacle of 70s automotive flash. While its V8 engine still only made around 140 horsepower. It represented the peak of the Mustang II's attempt to recapture its performance image. So, let's get to the final verdict. Was the Mustang II a good car? By today's standards, or even by the standards of the late 1960s, its performance was undeniably poor. It was built on an economy car platform, and it showed. But to judge it solely on that is to miss the entire point. You have to look at the context. In the mid-1970s, the entire American auto industry was in turmoil. Other legendary muscle car names were either being discontinued or were shadows of their former selves. The Dodge Challenger and Plymouth Barracuda were gone. The Pontiac GTO became just a trim package on a compact car. The market for big, powerful cars had evaporated overnight. If Ford had continued producing the large, thirsty Mustang of 1973, sales would have likely plummeted, and the Mustang name could have easily been axed, just like so many of its contemporaries. The Mustang II, for all its flaws, was a brilliant business decision. It adapted, it gave the public exactly what they wanted at that precise moment in history. A car with Mustang style and a name they recognized, but with the fuel economy and manageable size they needed. It sold in huge numbers, generating the profit and goodwill necessary to keep the brand alive. It acted as a bridge, carrying the legendary nameplate over the troubled waters of the 1970s, and delivering it safely to the 1980s, where the Fox body platform would reignite the performance wars. So, the next time you see a Mustang II, maybe don't be so quick to judge. What do you think, was the Mustang II a hero or a villain? Let me know your thoughts down in the comments. Thanks for watching, and if you enjoyed this trip through automotive history, be sure to like this video and subscribe for more. We'll see you in the next one.